At first, it really didn't affect me. I was like, oh, they're just sick. We'll figure it out. We'll learn how to treat it. It's not a big deal. As the pandemic continued and we started getting into month 5 and 6, and we started seeing the super sick ones that were on the ventilators for 30 or 40 days, it kind of took a toll. It kind of made me feel like I wasn't good at my job anymore, because I felt like nothing I did worked, nothing I did helped. I felt like I was losing more than I was helping, and I don't know, it kind of just put me in a bad spot to the point where I felt like I almost wanted to take a break and step away from all of it.
This past year's been tough. It's been tough on a lot of people, our nurses, physicians, hospital staff in general, but mainly on these patients and these patients' family members. A lot of them did feel alone, and we would set up Zoom meetings, and even the ones that couldn't talk, that were face down with a tube in their throat, there was tears because they miss them so much. Heartbreaking in a way that, granddaughters telling their grandma that they love them so much and that they miss them and are ready for grandma to come home. We still think about our patients that we've had that have passed. We think about those that have survived and able to get out of our unit.
Well, about middle of October, for a couple of days I was having some issues breathing, and thought, well, maybe it's just, sinus infection or something like that, something simple, something I'd get over. Sunday, I guess it was October the 11th to be exact, my wife said, you can't breathe. We're calling the ambulance and you're going to UMC. I got in, EC saw me immediately, did some tests on me, and then sent me right up to MICU, where I spent 11 days.
Security officers round daily throughout our unit just to make sure we have a safe environment there in the unit. And Mac is one of those dudes that is very encouraging, always uplifting, and just always has a good attitude. And so he was definitely known by our nursing staff.
When I had him, he was on 2 different forms of oxygen, and we were trying really, really hard not to intubate him. Luckily, we were able to get through without intubating him, but his oxygen dropped really low.
And it was really hard to see, one of our own end up in that position, having COVID and lying in a hospital bed. Gratefully, Mac worked really hard, and his lungs were able to improve. And man, it was awesome to see Mac walk out of our unit.
And then now to see him walk in the halls, it's like a weight off my shoulders, because I actually had him when I was at my low point, when I felt like I wasn't doing anything good. I didn't feel like I was doing my job. And so to see him walking around and see how much better he is compared to when he was in the hospital, it feels really good.
It was great to see that they treated me like family and were real nice to me and always tried to help. And I do appreciate what they do for me. I do appreciate what they do for all patients at the hospital.
It's a humbling experience taking care of these patients when most of them aren't able to take care of themselves. And so as the MICU team, we've rallied around that mindset. We're fighting for that granddaughter, and we're fighting for that grandma that's lying in bed so that she can get out of this hospital, so that she can do her favorite thing in the world, which is be a grandma.
I feel like our unit's kind of like a family unit. We all just get along. There's never really any bickering or fighting. It's just like we're all friends. You don't even have to say anything. You walk in and someone can be like, hey, you're having a hard day. It's okay. You need something? Come find me. It's all good. So that's really nice. And it's just nice to know that I have that backbone. Because before I worked at UMC, I worked at a different hospital, and it wasn't like that. So it's really nice to know that I have people that will have my back no matter what happens.
I came in right at the beginning of the pandemic. I was a brand new nurse, and I picked MI specifically because it was the most comfortable unit, because you were a big family, you never felt alone, and the hardest days didn't seem as hard because you always had someone to lean on.
And that was what we did for each other. I mean, we really and truly were there for each other through every aspect of it.
Right now, I'm happy to say that as of this last Sunday, MICU currently has 0 COVID patients on our unit, and we hope to keep it that way.